Well, first, welcome back. Just your initial thoughts when the phone rang and said, all right, deal's done, moving coast, heading back to the Southeast, a place you're familiar with. What was your initial reaction when you remember the Falcons?
Man, me and my just excitement, when everything happened on the other day. It's just excitement for me and my wife, to get back closer to family, to play for the hometown team that I grew up cheering for and pulling for. Just very, very excited and very humbled to be back.
Awesome. D-Led, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, hey Charlie, D. Orlando Ledbetter here. Did our little video out at the Super Bowl.
We talked at the Super Bowl, that's right.
Yes. Hey, just going back to being named the Super 11 in 2015 by the AJC, and now coming back to play for the Falcons. Just kind of tie that all together for me.
Man, it's funny you bring up the Super 11, man. That was a long time ago now. It was really cool to be honored that way by the AJC, going into senior year of high school. What a cool – I remember that was my first weird photo shoot deal. That was a lot of fun back then. But, yeah, to come back, to play for the Atlanta Falcons and just the ties, to everything throughout my entire life. Never left the state of Georgia until I went to the 49ers. So to be back connected with everybody is so cool.
Thank you.
Hey, Charlie, welcome. I'm Miss on AtlantaFalcons.com. That's so jarring to hear that you hadn't left the state of Georgia until you went to the 49ers. What exactly are you excited for to be back? Any specific hobbies you're looking to get back into or just anything like that?
Yeah, well, first of all, we're just excited to be back, to play for the Falcons, a team that I grew up playing for. But, man, to be back closer to family, I got 6 siblings, so many friends and family that live in the area. Me and my wife live in Athens in the off season already. So just so excited to be able to go to a birthday party or, go hang out with someone in the afternoon that I haven't been able to do in the last 4 years. And, excited to get to hunt and fish some more, now that I'm back full time, something I'm very passionate about. So, yeah.
Zach?
I mean, I know you got a nice bag with the contract, but how much of this is going to have to go to tickets with your siblings and your fans and your family? That's first of all. And two, what was your perception of this Falcons offense from the outside, and how do you see your role fitting in?
Yeah, with the tickets, man, it's been hard to get anyone to come out to games. I'm not blaming my family. It's just that everyone's got kids and life, so we're super humbled to have, family come to these games, and we'll figure out all that later at a later date. But just to be able to have family come consistently to games is going to be really cool. And, to the offense, I think, with the old regime under Smith, and they're changing now to more of a Ram-style offense it's all underneath kind of the Shanahan tree. So, it's not going to be quite like what I've came from the 49ers, but it's going to be similar. And so I think I'll fit in and find a role and contribute to help this team in a good way.
Michael Rossi?
Yeah, hey Charlie. I apologize, I jumped in a little late. So you might have been asked this already, but what did you learn from backing up George over the last few years that maybe you could, I guess, pass on to Kyle in that way?
And I learned what it means to be an NFL tight end first and foremost. I mean, he taught me what it meant to be, as a young kid coming into the league, learning to find my way, to be consistent, to be just so hardworking, show up day in and day out. It ain't easy to make it to the playoffs consistently, and it ain't easy. For his case, man, I don't know how many times he's been Pro Bowl the last few years or All Pro or whatever, but man, to just watch him in his work ethic, even in the offseason. I spent one offseason with him in Nashville too. So I just learned so much from George. I attribute so much to him, and so much of who I am and as a player and how I show up day in, day out stems from him. So I'm just going to continue to bring that here to the Falcons. And so, I hope I rub off on a lot of my teammates, and just excited to get to work with a lot of my teammates.
And again, you may have been asked, apologize if you have. What goes into being a high-level blocker as a tight end? Because it seems like that's what really you're known for.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think over half the battle is just wanting to do it. I think a lot of guys don't want to do it, so if you got the want to, you're kind of getting half the battle out, and then after that, it's it's a lot of experience, technique, and just being gritty. You just got to figure it out. Really, you got to be disciplined with your technique and run blocking. And again, that's a big thing I've learned from George. Learned from, just being a part of the Shanahan system and how we run an offense. So, yeah, you just got to want to do it.
Josh Kendall.
Charlie, nice to meet you. If you could help me go a little bit deeper into what differences you expect in these offensive systems, because we've been told that the Shanahan and McVay systems do share some parallels, but then they divide. Can you educate me a little bit on where you expect to see the similarities and differences?
Yeah, I think the McVay system, the break off of Kyle's, I think they do less 21 personnel, so they don't got a fullback out there. So you're going to see a lot more 11 and a lot more 12. One tight end and two tight end personnels.
Right.
So hoping to see more of that and be able to help out in a lot of the 12 personnel alongside Kyle Pitts out there. So.
Was that 12 personnel stuff a selling point for you, in the fact that it would give you a space to get more involved in the offensive package?
Sure. I mean, when you just look at when you look at the offenses, yeah, you look at, who Coach Morris brought here with Zach Robinson, the offense that he's going to bring. Yeah, I think just looking at that, getting on the field a little bit more and helping out to win more games. Yeah, definitely was a selling point.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah, Charlie, the non-playoff games, what from those experiences do you think you could share with the group? And have you talked to quarterback Kirk Cousins yet? Any impressions on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not going to bring anything other than who I am. And I think who I am is a formulation of the last, 4 years at Georgia, 4 years at the Niners. And again, that's just being hardworking. That's being a consistent man, consistent player every single day. I don't think all the playoff, brings the playoff experience brings anything more. Really, just bringing who I am. So, and then I did. I was able to meet Kurt yesterday after all the signing deal. He seems like a great man of faith. So super excited to get to know him more.
Thank you. Amna?
Yeah, I was going to ask about that playoff experience. Obviously, you sort of touched on that already, but this is a team that's really looking to, break that, get over that hump, and reach the playoffs. What do you see from this, roster that could get to that point?
Man, this roster seems so ready to just take off. Like, I know you got a new head coach, new staff, a bunch of people around here new, but I think a lot of the team is the same. And I think the team is just so ready to just take off. It's not a full rebuild as you'd think with a new head coach. It seems like a refresh almost, you know what I mean? With the new coach, you got Kirk in here, a big piece of the puzzle. It seems like a team that's just primed to take off because there's so much talent on the team already.
Zach, do you have another question?
Yeah, you mentioned one of the keys to blocking is the will and the want. How much of that is in your DNA from the jump, and how much of that was Kirby's ethos in Athens? Like, if you don't do this, you're freaking gone, kind of a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a guy to say, yes to anything I'm asked to do to help a team win. So that's a big part of who I am already. But I never played tight end, until I got to Georgia. So when they asked me to play tight end and hey, I played with 3 or 4, first round running back talent guys and a bunch of first round tackles. Like, look, we're going to run the ball, and if you want to contribute, you got to learn to do A, B, and C in the run game. So I was like, hey, I want to, do what I can to help the team win. And so a bunch of that was just learning how to do it correctly, but I always had the will and the want to do it, to play and to help the team.
Michael?
Yeah, Charlie, when it comes to the finances on this, it seemed like you were part of a big day for kind of guys who might be considered number 2 tight ends to get more money than maybe people thought. Were you paying attention to that at all between yourself, Sample, Parkinson? Like, were you watching that at all and kind of being like, oh, wow, like maybe this is a more valued position than it has been in the past? Or
I wasn't really following it, but then, after kind of everything was going down, I think it shows, what a good blocker means to this league and what a good special teamer means to this league. I think guys that can bring a lot of value to a team. I mean, you got 53 guys on the roster and only 46 put a jersey on some days. You need guys that can bring a lot of value to a football team, bring a lot of value to themselves. And that's what I've tried to do the last 4 years of the Niners. And so I think I put a premium on just availability and versatility in my game. And so, and there's less and less guys I feel like wanting to do the dirty work. So I think it just increased my value.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Josh, Kendall, you have a question?
I'm good. Thank you.
D-Led.
Yeah, follow up, Charlie. Hey, us old heads remember your uncle playing. Has he been helpful, or does he talk about the good old days when they could lay people out and so forth?
Yeah, he likes to talk about the good old days. I think he played for the Falcons too for 1 year after his. I think he was drafted here actually, and then went to the USFL back in the day. So, no, we don't talk a lot of football, but no, he does like to talk about the good old days, especially at Georgia. When they won a national championship back then. But Scott's a good one, and he definitely he's had an impact on my career.
Thank you.